You can look at the development of the last 50 years or more. Pretty much the cheap, abundant fuel, the fossil fuel era was one of the principal drivers of it, but there were other factors where we moved into a less pedestrian landscape, more favoring cars. So you had the development of the interstate highway systems, and you had the improvements of access, beltways around cities and corridors of 12 lanes wide and those sorts of things. And it's made for very happy cars. I mean, people come and they drive their cars, they get in them in the garage door opens, they go down the street to work, they come back, they go into the garage, and then they go in their house and they cocoon. Whereas in the olden days, you would have people out on the front porch, people walking by, opportunities for conversation, conviviality, landscapes, but all that's sort of like gone the way of the buffalo. You don't see, I went through Provence in southern France, and in that place you had this historic, very scenic village scape. And today you have maybe a fountain still, because it's a historic artifact, it's being kept, but it's in the middle of a traffic island where all the cars are being directed around it, and people can't actually go and access it without risking their lives. So we've made a very happy environment for cars. Cars are delighted, but people are less content, and so there's this sort of reaction to that, which is to say, can we reclaim some of that public space? Can we have back some of the plazas and places where people get together and stroll at night? Can we look at opportunities to have interaction, maybe with people we don't know very well, but here's an opportunity to put them together. So, those are the kinds of things that we're missing, and maybe it's like gone a generation or even 2 generations. We're starting to see the effects in social malaise in other ways as well. One effect of the car culture and the disintegration of the pedestrian design, the landscape for humans' interaction, is an alienation of children and a criminal response to not knowing your neighbor. So you have you have kids growing up, with their parents cocooning. The parents, they go from work to the entertainment center. There may be a family meal and there may not. You then have the kids, like peer-to-peer, having whatever their social needs are, attempting to be met, but increasingly their environments are very electronic and digital too, and that's in some respects taking them a step back into a separate universe rather than a shared universe. And the response to that is social malaise in lots of ways. One effect is violence. One effect is looking for ways to distinguish yourself and break out, and get out of the matrix. Sometimes that's criminal activity. And so these are social effects of the breakdown of what our grandparents and our great-grandparents took for granted as ways that people naturally have tropisms to live, that they tend to turn to these ways repeatedly as normal patterns of human behavior. And when we separate ourselves from that, we start to have issues.